The Supreme Court has decided not to hear an appeal by the National Episcopal Church in a case involving millions of dollars worth of property. The Fort Worth Episcopal Diocese says it is the rightful owner of that property. The diocese broke away from the National Church 6 years ago in a dispute over gay clergy. Fox 4's Natalie Solis live in Fort Worth with the story. Natalie.
Well, Steve, we're talking about more than 50 properties worth over $100 million. A lot is at stake, and it could be years till it's settled.
In 2008, a major fracture within the Episcopal Church in Fort Worth. One side staying with the National Church, the other, more conservative side, breaking away.
We found it untenable to remain in the Episcopal Church any longer because of its continued liberal drift and modernization.
The group calling themselves the Episcopal Diocese of Fort Worth. It disagrees with the National Church allowing gay bishops the ordination of women and other policies. Along the way, it held on to 52 churches worth $100 million.
If you get upset, you can't leave and take that with you.
The National Church sued for those properties, and so began 6 years of legal wrangling. Now, with the Supreme Court declining to hear the appeals of the National Church, it will let stand 2 state rulings in favor of the Fort Worth Diocese.
Well, we received the news with great joy, but we're encouraged because the United States Supreme Court has found no fault with the ruling of the Texas Supreme Court in our favor.
I want to be clear that it doesn't mean that we lost and the breakaway group won. That's not the issue. This was an opportunity we wanted to have to see if they would hear it because of some of the principles that we felt like were not taken into consideration.
The case now heads to a lower court. The diocese hopeful the state court decisions will be upheld. The National Church can still appeal.
We are wanting to get our property back that rightly belongs to us.
It makes it harder in many ways, partly because no one likes conflict and dissension. And when you get Christians into court suing other Christians, that's a distraction.
Well, both sides do seem to agree that this protracted legal battle takes away from their main goal of spreading the gospel. Now, the national side tells me it's having to get creative holding services in a movie theater because it's lacking a facility. The Fort Worth Diocese tells me that it's spending way too much money on this legal battle, money that could be spent on ministry, but it seems like neither side is willing to blink and let go of those very valuable properties. Steve?
All right, Natalie, it seems like for the time being the lawyers are winning. Let me ask you something. How long might this take to be settled? Did the Supreme Court decision, does that kind of speed things up in any way? Do we know a timetable?
Well, we do know that there is going to be another hearing, and it's likely to happen sometime in January, although that exact date hasn't been set. But the Fort Worth Diocese bishop tells me that he sees this going on for another 2 to 3 years. Steve?
Okay, Natalie Solis in our Fort Worth newsroom, thank you.